And Pleasers punch right next to me, Chris Boyd and Clinton Morrison, who only moments ago expected him to be heading out of Old Trafford. And, I mean, in terms of his destination, which now does look like Villa Park, does that come as any surprise, Boydie?
No, and I think, you know, when you look at, he's obviously been linked with clubs abroad early in the window, and that didn't materialise. And, you know, Villa's obviously seen a little, you know, opportunity there to go and get him. And the longer it went on, you kind of got the feeling that Mathys Rashford was going to stay at home, and that's exactly what he's done. And it's a great opportunity, Champions League football as well. I think he can play. He's played in the Europa League for Manchester, so I think he can play in the Champions League. So, you know, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for him at another big football club. But there's one thing. Mathys Rashford needs to get his career back on track.
He does. And so inevitably, all the chat now, particularly online, will be about a certain Ollie Watkins, because putting two and two together, many will conclude that that means potentially the move to Arsenal could be back on. How does this change things for you, or does it?
No, I still think they'll try and keep him. I obviously, Unai Emery had him and Duran, didn't they, for that period of time, where it was having those two options was great, having that competition for places, that if it wasn't quite working for Ollie Watkins, Duran had come on and score the winner. I also think Marcus Rashford he's got that versatility, so he can come off the left, he can come off the right if need be. He can obviously be the option in the number 9 if you need to rotate with Ollie Watkins. They've obviously brought in Marlon as well, so they now have options. Aston Villa needed to strengthen. They've got a lot of injuries. They're obviously trying to compete in the Champions League and in the Premier League, so they needed to bring players in. And I think Unai Emery will back himself to get the best out of Marcus Rashford, but my worry is actually selling him to a rival club. You just think if he goes to Aston Villa and performs at a very, very high level, what will the Manchester United fans think?
We'll do one more of Marcus Rashford, because Dawes is getting very, very excited. We'll explain why in just a moment, but I think you can probably guess. Clinton, final one on this. I mean, he's been at Man United for a long, long time. Made his debut 2016, 138 goals in 426 appearances. It's a loan, but the end of a long, long chapter. If Emery can get him firing, they have some player on their books if this is done.
Yeah, he's a talented boy. Everyone knows when Marcus Rashford burst onto the scene, he was a number 9 then. Done all of his good work from the left-hand side, and I think that's where he'll play. He'll have to compete, because I do like the boy Ramsey that plays there. I think he's an exciting young player, but the thing is with Rashford, he can also play through the middle at times if you want to give Watkins a break or something. But yeah, he just needs to play football week in, week out. I think the perfect manager for him is Unai Emery. It's detailed, and he'll have to buy into what Unai Emery wants to do, because it is a lot of stuff on the training ground. But I think he'll be a really good signing for Aston Villa. And you know what? A change of scenery is always the best sign. Sometimes, I'm not saying he's been at Man United too long, but he's been there a long time. Other managers have worked with him, it hasn't worked out for Marcus Rashford. I think this is a great move for Marcus Rashford and for Aston Villa. Over to you, Chris.
The other thing is as well that, I mean, if they're obliged to buy him.
They're looking to get a deal where they get the option to buy, yeah.
If they don't, sometimes when you go away, you might just realise what you've got. And you know, it might be a case with Manchester United, go and play football, and then he realises, I mean, Aston Villa's a big football club, huge football club, but they're not Man United. So it might be, you know, a chance, if he goes away and performs, to realise what he had at Manchester United, and he can come back in the summer with his head screwed on and ready to perform.